Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React Time. Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Office Bloke Daz.
Together in a room, all three of us are the Office Blokes.
We are.
Yeah.
It is true. There you go. Who won the NFL draft?
Who won it?
Yeah.
Who got the best deal, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We reacted to, we've released it, haven't we? We did, I think, on Friday, the Jalen Hurts deal. Because then you texted and said someone had beaten it the next day.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. It's Lamar Jackson from Baltimore Ravens.
And his deal's worth more, is it?
I think so. I think his guaranteed money's worth more.
Right.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling sort of sums of money we're talking about, isn't it?
Sport in general is like crazy money around sport now, isn't there?
Yeah.
So it's a massive entertainment.
Huge around the world. Like I say, entertainment-wise, it's probably just the biggest, isn't it? That music, but I mean, sport's just unbelievable.
Sport's ridiculous, crazy money.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
Fair play to them if you can get it. Go for
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely.
If they're generating the money through sponsorship deals and advertisements and stuff like that, absolutely, why not?
Think of all the peripheral businesses that benefit from sports as well. You know, even if people are going and you're at the ground and then there's everything around it and there's transport infrastructure and there's everything.
Food, drinks, people like that.
Mate, I keep businesses in business when I go to the away games.
You're keeping a Premiership afloat all, you know.
Tell you, mate. Tell you.
Just to not remember any of it and miss all the goals.
Don't remember nothing. Don't remember what time I got home, how I got home.
Unbelievable, you didn't see any of the goals either.
No, I missed all 3 goals,
Man, all the way to London for that.
Nice. Anyway, who won the 2023 NFL draft? Let's get into it.
I'm going to go with the Houston Texans on this one. They were a team going into the draft all offseason. All we talked about was how the Houston Texans screwed up having the number 1 pick. And draft night, early on Thursday night, they changed that narrative so much so that you just look at Nick Caserio and D'Amico Ryans, you're like, they got to just be sitting back, kicking their feet up like, look at what we just did. Not only did they go C.J. Stroud with the 2nd overall pick, they traded up to get Will Anderson at the 3rd pick, which was huge for them as a franchise. You get an offensive cornerstone and a defensive cornerstone. The Texans went into the draft with 12 picks. They got 9 players in that draft. Only 2 of those slots did they actually draft at the original pick that they had. They were wheeling and dealing, moving up, moving back to get more players, more talent to surround a young core. Not only did they get those 2 guys in the first round, they also brought in a guy, Tank Dell, out of Houston, an explosive player, a receiver, another weapon for C.J. Stroud to have. As I'm looking at the draft Thursday night, you're just waiting for the Houston Texans. You're waiting to see what they're going to do at the number 2 spot with so much chatter going on.
There's some jewellery here, isn't there?
The dad's watch.
That was a town hall clock, wasn't it?
Yeah. Spotted that.
That was big, man.
Well, I watched like they come in now. It's like, I don't know how long they've been doing it for. I've only ever watched the draft once before when I was in a bar in Champs Bar in Houston, and I just walked in. I was like, "What the fuck's going on here?" It was packed, and I'm like, I said to one of the lads, I went, "What's going on? Why is it so busy?" He went, "It's a draft," and I'm like, "Wow." I don't know.
Yeah, popular now.
Everyone was out watching it, and then, but now they were all entering like on the, you walk like, you go to like you see a movie premiere, like the red carpet in the wall in the back where they all have the photos done. There was one guy, I'm not sure who it was, but he stood there with his watch out like that. Yeah, he's just got his watch on. He's like, I'm like,
wow. There's
what he's come to.
There's a way people stand. Like I've got a cousin that does it on pictures. And he'll like stand in a way where he's like that, trying to look casual just to show his watch off. Yeah. It's like you're trying a bit hard there, mate. Yeah. But these are college now going into
NFL.
Yeah. But college, you don't get paid, do you?
I think they've changed the rules. People were telling us recently on sponsorship deals.
Sponsorship.
Like maybe like rights, image rights and things like that.
Yeah.
So I think they are getting some kind of money now.
I'm wondering if they have some sort of, because not all of them are going to have high level sponsors.
Some of these are borrowed as well from jewellers. They want their jewellery seen.
I get you. Yeah, so if you're potentially like a first pick, we'll loan you this nice watch and nice chain.
I think I saw like a few years ago, it was like I think it was the Oscars or something. I think it might have been J-Lo or someone like that was there with like some kind of like diamond, or Beyonce or something. One of these sort of like award shows, and they would turn up with a borrowed necklace that was worth like $7 million or something. I think I remember that.
And basically they all do it with the dresses, don't they?
Yeah.
The ladies at the Oscars, they always wear dressed by someone, and then you always have someone before it sort of commentated on
Ryan Seacrest asking what you wearing. I'm wearing a thong, mate.
Nothing.
Yeah, tuxedo. What are you wearing? Tuxedo. All the blokes and all the women, it's Versace. You've got Dolce & Gabbana.
With C.J. Stroud, he's not going to go 2nd overall, and they're like, nope. we like him. We want to get our quarterback right here, but we also want one of these really good defensive players in the draft. So as I walk away, the weekend's over. You look back at the Houston Texans, and they have changed the narrative for the franchise, obviously bringing in DeMeco Ryans, but now adding 2 of the top players in the draft at the 2nd and 3rd overall spot. It's only, I think, the 3rd time since I don't know how long that a team has had 2 picks in the top 3. So
I was ready for them to trade up and get the 4 pick, too.
Why not?
Keep going. I wanted it. I was rooting for him.
I give him all the credit for keeping it tight, too, because DeMeco Ryan said after the draft that he and Nick Caserio, there was nothing to leak because only the 2 of us talked and told nobody. That's really hard to do.
Amazing.
To keep that tight the way that they did. Give me the team that they traded with, the Arizona Cardinals. Now, a lot of times you'll hear after the draft, and we did about the Lions, that they would have taken Jahmyr Gibbs if they stayed at 6, right? And the Cardinals, they would have taken Paris Johnson if they stayed at. I believe that, and I know that because we heard that leading up to the draft that Paris was their guy. So to slide back, look how fired up he is. By the way, Paris, a good buddy of mine, so I can vouch for this kid and the character. Plus everything he's going to give you on the field. So from a draft pick itself standpoint, I thought this was a phenomenal pick. But in the meantime, picking up the draft capital that they did, now one of only 2 teams right now that has multiple first-round picks going forward next year. You expect the Packers are going to join them as the 3rd. And we talk about this draft next year. It's talked about as a quarterback draft. They may not need a quarterback, but even if you have 2 first-round picks, plus you got a high pick, if you don't need a quarterback, now you can get even more in that draft. They've got 6 picks in the first 3 rounds already next year. But the other part of this that I think is important for the Arizona Cardinals is right now they're trying to generate these good vibes with Kyler Murray. They're going to the statue unveiling. They're talking about how they're going to have this explosive offense going forward. They're trying to generate these good feelings with Kyler. Well, he loved Paris Johnson. He saw Paris on his visit and said, Paris, can you play right tackle? Can you play? And Paris was like, yeah, I can play anywhere. I'm telling these guys, we got to take you. We got to take you. So not that they selected him because of Kyler Murray, but it helps that you got the guy that he wanted. So I just see a lot of good things for the Arizona Cardinals coming out of this draft.
That statue trip was critical, I think. I loved it. And I've been really critical of Kyler for a lot of I love that they did that. I'm not even kidding. Like, we got you right before the draft. Timing couldn't have been better. I have several people who won the draft, and I'm calling it the White Knuckle Club. This is the group that was watching being like, every pick when my team's in the cog, bring it up. These 3 guys, I think, won. Because look across the board, they could have had the rug ripped out. They could have said, listen, there's 14 quarterbacks taken in this draft. There's a whole bunch of first-rounders. It could have been very easy for the Vikings to say, Kirk, we love you. You're really expensive. We're getting the next guy. Gino, cool story. We're getting the next guy. Mac, we don't love you. Not a cool story. We're getting the next. None of it happened. Not only did they not get the heir apparent taken out from under him, Kirk Cousins got a first-round receiver added to him. Geno Smith got a first-round receiver. They got presents, and you got to be watching this thing. Are they really going to do this? No. Jared Goff got one drafted out of underneath him. They got Hendon Hooker. Jared Goff knows that at some point, likely, he's not going to be playing for the Lions. Derek Carr got a quarterback added. Jimmy G did. Jordan Love did. Now, these are later guys, and Kirk Cousins had one later, too. But look, even the Eagles drafted a quarterback, and he wasn't from Georgia. So, everybody was getting quarterbacks eventually. Those 3 guys can just skate. The Patriots did not draft one. The Seahawks did not draft one, and they added receivers. Watching the draft for those guys has to be incredibly high stakes, and they could be laid back, whatever. But if you were Geno and they took Will Levis, or if you were Geno and they took
Will Levis didn't even get drafted in the first round.
Did he not?
No, I don't know when he got drafted. Maybe around the second round.
Yeah,
he didn't get drafted in the first. He was favourite to go in the first.
Yeah, wow.
Not even mentioned the first pick yet either.
I still don't know who won the draft either.
It's like the Texans. I'd say the Texans.
Sounds like they've done pretty well, doesn't it?
They got the 2 and 3, didn't they?
Yeah.
But number 1, they've not even mentioned, have they? You got the number 1 pick.
No.
Yeah.
It was Bryce Young who went to the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson, I guess I'm moving. Yeah. They're not. I think those 3 guys won. Those are actual guys who have made plays in this league. With due respect to all the draft guys we're worshiping, a lot of them aren't going to work out, guys. Those 3 guys already did, and they did not get their replacement draft. I think they're winners.
I like that you went players and not just one specific team, because there was a vibe amongst those quarterbacks in particular, and that was a good couple of faces to look at there. I'm going with the How Dare You Club for this one, and how dare the rest of the league, as Daniel Jeremiah said on draft night, the opening night, how dare you let the Philadelphia Eagles run away with who they did in the first round. Specifically, it's one thing to jump up and get Jalen Carter. We knew the narrative around Jalen Carter and how he had a backstop. He had stopped interviewing with teams after the number 10 pick. You know that was going to be the number. He actually ended up going 9 to the Eagles. Okay, that's fine. He joins his Georgia Bulldog buddies and Jordan Davis and N'Kobe Dean, and that's great. Later in the round, Daniel Jeremiah and Rich Eisen and Charles Davis, they're great. They're crushing it. To the point where, though, now DJ has at a loss for words when the Philadelphia Eagles are on the clock again in the second pick of the first round.
I'm like literally dumbfounded that they're going to end up with, if they end up with Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith. If they come away with Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith, they will have had the best first round of anybody in this draft.
I was laughing so hard watching this moment because it was like, it's like when you're so struck by this thing that just happened in life, you have to say it repeatedly. I just had a baby.
How cool does he look? Funny.
Doesn't it?
Look at him there.
He looks like a preacher that for some reason is worth like 200 million and has a private jet. It's the white suit that does
just
it.
Just looks super cool, doesn't he? Laid back, look at that, brilliant.
How old's he there? Like 21, 22?
Yeah, probably 22, yeah.
I did not look like that when I was 21, 22.
No. I mint that, innit?
Yeah.
Cool. I just got engaged. The Eagles are about to get Nolan Smith after they got Jalen Carter. This is one of the most ridiculous polls in the first round defensively for a team that, sure, they scored 35 points in the Super Bowl this year. They also gave up 38. They said, not again. We're making our defense better. Then in the fourth round, they got Keely Ringo, a great guy in the secondary to add to your defense. What are we doing? The Eagles defense, they were good. They got that much better.
Yeah.
I like the whole ceremony around that and the whole, just how ridiculous it is for really, young guys leaving college going into professional careers.
As well, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It really has.
Someone was running a competition over there. I never entered competitions and I entered to go.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I thought if I can blag this, I just, but I didn't win it. Obviously.
Yeah. That would have been a great one.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
It
was in Kansas, I think, wasn't it? Kansas City.
Yeah. Right, okay.
I think they're superstars already, aren't they? At age 21 or whatever.
Coming out of college anyway.
Yeah, because college is that big, isn't it? We've seen a load of videos of the college games.
Absolutely,
it's absolutely huge, isn't it? Yeah. Incredible. It really is.
But I'm surprised he didn't even talking about a show like that, and then they don't even talk about the first round pick, the first pick. So you think that'll be the
pinnacle, wouldn't you?
Pinnacle of who it was. They might not. Panthers, it's probably irrelevant of what he's going to do. There's a lot of talk about some of the players that were picked about the size.
Right.
Would they do it in college football? Would they be able to do it in the NFL? I don't know. And it's it'd be interesting to see how they perform.
I suppose there's a lot more moving parts than just being the first round pick, though, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, you've got the a few weeks before, haven't you? What do you call it? The combine, yeah. And I think a couple of them didn't perform as well as they expected.
Right.
So it was quite a talking point.
Still on things at such a young age, 20, 21, 22. Sports stars do develop at different rates, don't we? We've seen it in our football. Yeah. Any type of sport, starting to your mid-20s and that, people do develop at later stages, don't they? We've seen guys over here who've been some of the last picks, but then have gone to be superstars over there because they've developed and just got better over time with better coaches and everything.
That's true. That, I mean, what you've got though, you're not coming. It's not like you're coming fresh from doing hardly anything. You've come in from the college leagues. The college divisions, which where it's high level,
high standard.
Yeah, it's very high standard as well. Yeah,
get that.
I mean, again, there's a lot of people in the college level as not as good as going to be in everyone in the NFL is good. There's no real bad sort of like performers in the NHL, in the NFL. But when you go into college, you're going to get a few sort of like people who never going to make it in life.
Never get drafted, never go pro.
Yeah, but then you've got the elite ones that are coming in to be with the elite,
and they're always going to be up there, aren't they? But then it's where they'll end up in the career.
Yeah, we had a good conversation on the Discord server. About the draft with quite a few people on there.
I've read a bit of it, but I was lost. I was like, oh, okay.
I actually said I think Young and CJ Stroud will go 1 and 2.
Right.
And they did.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah,
and I
don't think it was that hard to predict. I don't think.
Right.
Yeah. I think they were quite favourites to sort of go in the first couple of picks.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Yeah.
Fair
good.
News.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers. Guys.